Welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary pals, to the final week of the round-robin stage of the Doomnite League. Tonight, our 6 teams face off for the last available points before the season finale tournament on the 17th of May at 7 p.m. BST. The top 2 teams of the round-robin stage will get immediate entry into the semi-finals of the tournament, while the other 4 teams will have to battle it out to stay in the game and be in with a chance of winning Doomnite League Season 2 and getting a trophy of all of their team members placed in the Discord for all to see. Isn't it just fabulous? And special news for the 17th of May tournament, as Doom and team will be upping the production, so we've invited in some lovely guest casters to join us for all the mayhem. It's going to be one heck of a show, so be sure to mark it in your calendar and be ready for the ultimate Doomnite League showdown. With that said, this week is looking spicy, so let's jump into the games and see which teams will be taking home some points. Will Shadowhands finally be defeated? Can Midnight Rain get their first point on the board? It is all to play for, so let's get into it. Alrighty, we're starting off with round 1, Shadowhands versus Phantastic Academy, and we're on to the picking and ban stage. What Pokemon are we going to see get the lovely ban treatment this week, with Raichu being available to players now? Looks like Convey is going to be first up on the ban hammer for Shadowhounds. Phantastic Academy, how are you going to respond? What are you going for? We're going for a Hoopa ban, no quick moving around this map. Scizor ban, again, Scizor just never getting played in the Doomnite League. It just doesn't happen for this poor Pokemon. It is constantly banned. And Phantastic Academy looking to take Suicune, the CC machine that it is, out for the count. Over to Shadowhands for the first pick now. What are we going to see them picking up? There are a lot of strong speedsters. So what are we going to be seeing? Zeraora being grabbed, which is a very strong Pokemon to grab. And on the side of Phantastic Academy, we're seeing Trevenant and Gardevoir be grabbed. Tunks is going to be picking up Sylveon, and Card King managing to grab that Blissey, which is so strong for stopping things like CC and such. So very, very strong pick on the side of Shadowhands. Leafeon coming out, maybe, from Phantastic Academy. Buzzwole absolutely locked in for this. He's the big bug, but will he be enough? We're seeing Talonflame be grabbed on out for the sides of Phantastic Academy. And the last 2 picks for Shadowhands, Slowbro going to be able to shut down a good chunk of the team of Phantastic Academy, and Chandelure going to be able to do a lot of range damage. Final pick for Phantastic Academy, and it looks like they're hovering on the idea of a Pikachu. As a Pikachu main, I am a big fan of this decision. But will it be locked in? It is Pikachu as the final Pokemon for this stage. Both team comps here looking pretty good. Shadowhands deciding not to pick up any all-rounders, despite all-rounders having a relatively good time. And Phantastic Academy sticking with almost one of every role, minus a supporter. Pikachu very strong for the CC, but Blissey going to be able to shield the Pokemon from getting any stun for that. So perhaps we'll be seeing Mage Pikachu instead for this run. Talonflame, a sneaky little back capper. Perhaps it'll be able to do enough of the back capping to deal with Phantastic Academy, sorry. Perhaps it'll be able to do enough, but a lot of ranged attack on the Sylveon and Chandelure to kind of keep them at bay, and a Zeraora to get on their ranged attackers. Your purple team is going to be Shadowhands. Your orange team is Phantastic Academy. I am sorry if there's any shaky camera control on this. Zeraora going into middle for the side of Shadowhands as jungle, as Blissey and Eevee take bottom. As the Fletchling is going to be the jungler for Phantastic Academy. Pikachu Buzzwole top lane for Phantastic Academy, so a lot of crowd control in parts for these guys. Chandelure and Slowpoke on the side of Shadowhands going for the contested, and Buzzwole is able to grab it. Slowbro has a very strong secure, and they're actually going to go to try and stop them getting it, and able to take that off them as well, denying them some XP and picking up a KO. With the new items out, KOs are terrifying. They can get stacked up pretty fast and pretty fast going for them, so that can get the ball rolling a lot earlier. So Phantastic Academy definitely keeping them at bay right now. Meanwhile, down bot, Sylveon and Blissey going a little bit on the offensive. They're doing a lot of damage to the Trevenant, but not quite able to take it out. Roltz and that just hanging down there. They're now finally going for their back bunnies if they chose to avoid to secure it, and we have the jungle hanging about up top, so potentially this gank might get some big wins across for Shadowhands. Right now, no points have gone across. Mid-bird with 8-minute 50 are out, and the fights are going. Zeraora is on the Buzzwole. Buzzwole trying to fight back, able to pick up the KO on the Zeraora, and the Slowpoke are having to fight. Meanwhile, down bottom, Phantastic Academy are getting a little bit taken out by them. Trevenant goes down. Curly is doing its best to survive, but that's going to allow Tonks to get some points across the board. 21 points across for the first dunk of this game. Buzzwole and Pikachu still keeping the pressure on in the top lane against Shadowhands. Slowpoke being able to out-secure them and try to get themselves a ball, but still being a Slowpoke, feeling a little bit rougher than. Meanwhile, down bot, we've got the Fletchling and the Volts there. Jungle is trying to give some support to his team on the side of Phantastic Academy. The Tonks doing a lot of damage, but they're able to get the Trevenant evolved up. Sceptile's still not evolved, but going for the mid-burst at the 8-minute mark. And there's a lot of Shadowhands there, but we do see Trevenant trying to keep them controlled out, and a lot of the XP actually goes across Phantastic Academy. But Shadowhands pick up the KO, and it gets the Slowbro evolved. While there is more on the side of Phantastic Academy, it looks like they're able to keep a good chunk of the damage going across, and it might be seeing some KOs going across there for it. Sylveon having to unite to stay alive against the Buzzwole, but able to pick up the KO on the Buzzwole, keeping themselves alive. 21 points still have only been dunked so far, and it is on the side of Shadowhands. Curly are now having to defend against a Zera Aura and a Sylveon, and they are not able to do it. Zera Aura gets their points through to 48 points, but Talonflame and Trevenant are able to make their way there. Professor Malice picking up a KO there on the top lane, able to get some people. Meanwhile, down bottom, Shadowhands were able to put on the pressure and take that bottom goal. It's time for the Reggies now. Registeel down bottom, and it looks like Shadowhands have the advantage for getting that and are going to be able to take that without any contesting from Phantastic Academy, who are choosing to try and go on this Regieleki and get it through, but Shadowhands are making their way up top. Tonks taking out the Trevenant to give themselves more of a chance now, going on to the Buzzwole, getting it off that Regieleki that's so low, trying to go in and steal it from this Buzzwole. Buzzwole not able to outdo the Surf there, and the Zera Aura secures that Regieleki for Shadowhands, but 22 points have gone across the board for Phantastic Academy. Now the pressure is on from Shadowhands as they attempt to get this Eleki in. Trevenant doing its best to try and stop it. Talonflame also trying to pick up some KOs, but Talonflame and Trevenant go down, and they're going to try and break this goal as soon as possible. 220 points to 22 points, 4 minutes into the game. Level-wise, looking relatively scary on the side of Shadowhands with a level 11 Sylveon and a level 10 Zera Aura, and the first level 10 has just been hit on the side of Phantastic Academy with the Buzzwole, who is just focusing on getting his XP. Right now, they're trying to keep the levels. Phantastic Academy catching up with their focus on going for XP now with 2 level 9s. Still not caught up to the level 12 and 11 that are on the side of Shadowhands, but it's an attempt. Shadowhands are sort of into the jungle there a little bit, trying to keep them from getting any XP, seeing if they can steal any of the XP. Zera Aura going in, and the rest of Shadowhands follow. Down goes a bunch of Phantastic Academy, and they're almost wiped out. God of War unite to try and deal with it, but it's a team wipe before even an objective, meaning with no pads up, they're going to be able to push a bunch of points across on the bottom goal here. Trevenant just gets back to stop it from going, but points were put across. The goal is on only 24 now, but can Phantastic Academy fight Shadowhands off as they go on a very aggressive approach? 2 of Shadowhands have gone down, and Phantastic Academy seem to be able to stop that goal from being taken right this second, being able to get that Slowbro taken out with the God of War and push back any of the advances Shadowhands were just making. Professor Mouse going in on the Chandelure. He has gone Bolt Taco Electro Ball. Chandelure goes down to the Talonflame, who is able to jump on it. And Phantastic Academy are now putting the pressure on this Regirock down bottom, with Blissi trying to help out their team as there's a little bit of a scuffle going on to the left, and others are focusing on the objective at hand. In the end, the objective seems to have gone to the God of War, so Phantastic Academy. Oh, no, I'm lying. The God of War was taken out by the Reggie, and Pikachu was able to secure the bottom objective, so a Regirock on the side of Phantastic Academy, an objective acquired. Now making their way to the top lane to go on to that Regieleki that will be up there. Seems like Shadowhands are already prepped and ready to go on it. Sylveon taking the advance here, going for the rip on it alongside 4 of their teammates, whilst Phantastic Academy sort of stay out of the way on this one. Now Shadowhands are making their way through mid and jungle, trying to take any of the XP they can from Phantastic Academy and keep this level advantage. A level 14 Sylveon on the side of Shadowhands, which is crazy strong. Meanwhile, Phantastic Academy are fighting the top Aleki and trying to stop that go in their goal. 22 points on the side of Phantastic Academy to 343 points to Shadowhands, who have sneakily gone to the second goal and taken that out. 1 minute 20 till Rayquaza. It's time to focus on those levels, trying not to do too much of a scuffle, but it seems like Phantastic Academy took an advance on the top goal, but they were defended off. I think that was a Pikachu Unite coming out. Just a little bit of time for it to get it back. It should get it back in time for Rayquaza, sorry. I know Pokemon. But big advantage, 4 KO streak for the Zeraora there in defending that goal. And one more Reggie in the bot path is going to be available to our teams to take. So whether Phantastic Academy are going to take a fight here and potentially get a big knockout for Rayquaza, one of the teams could get huge advantage here. But it seems like Shadowhands are prepped and ready to go for the bottom Reggie that's going to spawn. Slowbro sticking up top to defend the goal. And Phantastic Academy just focusing on trying to get those levels up. Level 15 Sylveon, level 14 Zeraora. It's a bit of a scary mix for Phantastic Academy right now. Shadowhands make quick work of this Reggie rock down bottom, increasing their defense and special defense for a little bit, meaning they're going to be a little bit harder to kill for Rayquaza, and we're going to be seeing teams go into their Rayquaza positions. Zeraora just grabbing the last of the buffs, being ready to go, and Phantastic Academy grabbing the most of the XP that they can and prepping themselves in the bush. Both sides are sort of keeping themselves out of the way for this Rayquaza fight. It's 2 minutes, Doom. Come on. I'm out of practice, guys. Looks like Phantastic Academy took the bottom way, kind of trying to make their way over to it. Gardevoir trying to put a little bit of a fence onto it, but down goes one of Phantastic Academy. Pikachu Unite comes out. None of Shadowhands are down just yet. 3 of Phantastic Academy. Team wipe on the side of Phantastic Academy, and they're going to be able to shred this Rayquaza if we don't see our surrender coming in anytime soon. There's the surrender. Valiant effort from Phantastic Academy, but Shadowhands putting on that pressure they're known to do. A very strong team in this competition, very, very good at moving together on the map, and they were just able to get themselves in the advantage. In the end, it was 343 points to the 22 points, and Shadowhands is going to take the first of this set of 3. If they can win this next one, then they're going to be able to take it and have gone undefeated in this season of the Doomnite League, with the finale tournament being the only chance to take out Shadowhands and do it. Tunks, that Sylveon doing not so damage at 82,000 damage was just kind of crazy. Talonflame doing 34k. We had Bellsword doing 54,000. Phantastic Academy were just not able to get on Shadowhands as much as they needed to and get the damage across. But they did a valiant effort, and I'm excited to see how round 2 goes. Alrighty, we're going into round 2 of Shadowhands versus Phantastic Academy with the sides switch. Phantastic Academy now on your left side and Shadowhands on the right, meaning first pick will be on Phantastic Academy's side and first ban will be on their side. Are they sticking with the Hooper ban, not wanting to give Shadowhands the movability around the map, or potentially just being able to keep that out of the rain? And Comfey potentially on the sides of Shadowhands here. I'm not sure if Phantastic Academy play Comfey, but I know that little parasite can be very annoying, so understood. Zeraora seems to be what Phantastic Academy did not like going up against on Shadowhand's side, so they've taken that into the ban corner. Meanwhile, Suicune is also joining in on the little ban section, bless it. Suicune, you CC monster, get out of it. Malice taking the role of Charizard here and taking first pick for Charizard. Not the Pokemon I would first pick, but an interesting first pick nonetheless. Scizor is finally available for a game in the Doomnite League. This is absolutely crazy. And Scizor is being picked up alongside Blissey, which can be a little bit scary. Again, protection from CC on the Blissey. Always really, really strong. And a Scizor being sped up for its auto attacks, and that could be awful for people. Phantastic Academy picking up Trevenant, who is very good at CC, but there is a Blissey to contend with. Apollo sticking on the Gardevoir for this. And are we going to see Shadowhands changing things up at all? Are we going to... The Zeraora is out of there, so we're going to be seeing potentially a new speedster taking to the field in this next set of games. Tunks, an unknown, not sure what they're picking. Going for Cramorant Chandelier. going for an interesting double ranged attacker there. Native Weeb sticking on the buzz wall, and our final pick on the side of Phantastic Academy looking to be a Meowscarada. Meanwhile, Shadowhands is going to be picking up potentially a defender here now, with Blastoise being up as a contender. Blastoise can be a big old nuisance, so it's a fun Pokemon to see getting some play here. Blastoise is picked up. The teams are locked in. All right, loading in to the games, looking at these team comps. They're looking a little bit spicy. Finally getting to see some Scizor play in the Doomnite League, which we rarely get to see, is very, very exciting to me. I do love a good Scizor play. And alongside of Blissey, always lovely to see. Cramorant, underrated, and people seem to love it when we see it. Buzzwole, super strong. Meowscarada, good pick. Godwatch, Revenant, and Charizard. Gonna be interesting to see. Double all-rounders, so they're a little less squishy this time on the side of Phantastic Academy. So hopefully they'll have a lot more bite to Shadowhands and be able to survive in the fights. Whereas too many ranged attackers, they're a little bit squishy, so you want to be saving it. Purple team is gonna be Phantastic Academy. Your orange team is gonna be Shadowhands. And let's see how this pans on out. We're seeing oh my god, my brain just completely forgot the Pokemon. We're seeing a Meowscarada in jungle and Scizor in jungle. Could potentially be a Scyther though, to be fair. Didn't think about that. Could potentially be a Cramorant, Blissey down bottom with a Squirtle Chandelier up top. Meanwhile, Waltz is down here trying to secure the XP, but getting out secured by a Cram, who has a really strong early game secure and is going to be able to try and keep that Roltz for as long as it possibly can. Chandelier and Squirtle just keeping focused on their XP at the moment and going to get ready for the contested. Actually, Malice is going a bit strong-headed there into the bush of the Shadowhands. Shadowhands fighting them back. Buzzwole, Charmander, and Meowscarada trying to keep them at bay, but one of them goes down. The Buzzwole actually gets taken out, and it is a Scizor we're seeing in this game. I'm excited for this. Scizor doing a lot of work here, taking out the Charmander and taking out the Meowscarada, allowing them to get points across the board and kills to stack up their new items. Scizor trying to get good old-fashioned stacks right now, managing to get themselves up to 3 off of 1 push. Very good. Sephiroth having to back off as he's a little low and still kind of a little Squirtle. But Scizor takes out the Buzzwole again and is putting the pressure on Professor Malice, while the Litwick is dunking to get a bit of extra XP. And we're actually seeing them go for their back bunnies now, going up the block stream, not really caring, getting another stack and using those bunnies to get up to potentially 5 stacks right now. Gonna see another fight go on. Scizor fighting through that Buzzwole, still just keeping the pressure on top lane. It is insane how much pressure they are putting over on Phantastic Academy right now. Shadowhands with 60 points across the board. We're going to be seeing the 8-minute middle birds in about 5 seconds, and it looks like Shadowhands are already prepped to go for that to try and stop them getting any XP. Scizor there with the War Turtle and the Cram, able to just clear out that mid XP completely uncontested. Meanwhile, Professor Malice and Native Weeb are going for a push on this top goal, but Chandelier and Squirtle are able to take both of them out and keep their top goal nice and safe. No points going across the Phantastic Academy just yet, and Shadowhands are able to get their Chandelier all the way up to its final Evo and online for playing now. Meanwhile, down bot, Phantastic Academy just keeping it chill. We've got 30 seconds for the Reggie. Top goal is gone. Shadowhands on 99 points have taken it. Chandelier looking a little dicey and potentially going to get knocked out there, but down goes 3 members of Phantastic Academy from each lane. Shadowhands just keeping that pressure on. Managing to take out the Meowscarada, but losing their Chandelier in the process. Rapid Spin Blastoise is leaving. Down bot, they're able to dunk a load of points and take the tier 1 of Phantastic Academy for themselves. Shadowhands keeping a lot of pressure on. Scizor being able to put a lot of work in here. Levels are definitely in the side of Shadowhands right now. Blastoise is hanging out, keeping top safe, while Blissey and Scizor are working on the Reggie steal. Phantastic Academy not wanting to contest bottom. They're actually going to go and try and contest top. Reggie not wanting that to go towards their second goal. With a lot of them, Cramorant Unite coming out. putting a lot of damage and taking out the God of War, putting pressure on. Now Blastoise is kind of gunning for Trevenant. It's able to take it out and completely push Phantastic Academy back to their tier 2. Well, they're able to take the pressure and go onto this Regieleki. It looks like this Alecki is going to be heading all the way to tier 2 of Phantastic Academy on the first Regieleki. Shadowhands not messing around. They want to keep a clean streak for this game. They want to win all of their matches. Putting the pressure and actually pressuring this Regieleki to go into the tier 2 goal. They're able to take out Boswell and Charizard, and now they're working on the tree, who goes down as well. Points going across, and it looks like that tier 1 on top is completely gone. Shadowhands moving around this map as one unified unit right now. Meowscarada going for a back cap down bottom. Are they able to get some points across for themselves? 30 points across on the side of Phantastic Academy. They need to be focusing on getting themselves some XP. The levels are relatively similar. 1 level 10 on the side of Phantastic Academy, 2 level 10 on 11 on Shadowhands. Did not notice the 11. Rapid Spin Blastoise coming in now, putting pressure in. Blissey using the safeguard, no CC right now. Cramorant helping out, Tree looking a little low, manages to get a wood hammer onto them. We're seeing a God of War Unite taking in the Blissey, but still not enough to take it down, and Tree goes down alongside the God of War. Pressure on the hands of Shadowhands. They are absolutely pressuring this map, keeping the control. They have got the levels, they've got the advantage right now, and they are trying to keep that way. Phantastic Academy are keeping the focus on just getting any available XP right now to try and get those levels up. Contesting things looking a little bit dicey, a little bit scary. Meanwhile, we've got the Regieleki down bottom spawning, and Shadowhands are already on it. Will Phantastic Academy even go in to try for a steal or contest? They're trying to make their way there, but they're ready, and they're not able to. Scissor secures the Regieleki, and the other team ball is going out. Down goes 3 members of Phantastic Academy to the 1 of Shadowhands, who has dropped. Apollo going down as well. Scissor trying to get onto Malice. Malice doing his best to try and keep Scissor out, but they are putting the pressure on. Points are going to be raining in down tier 2, despite doing a little bit of a knockback. 21 points was able to be pushed across. Scissor with the safeguard on, now getting out of there, and Shadowhands retreating to get XP and go for the next objective, which is the Regieleki up top. If they get this Regieleki, that's going to be going for home, and that's going to be pretty dang scary for Phantastic Academy. Shadowhands are now on the Regieleki, making quick work of it with the Rapid Spin. Blastoise and the Scissor and Chandelier able to get it, and Phantastic Academy prioritizing being grouped up and ready to fight off this Regi, not wanting to let this go into home. There's still 1:40 till Rayquaza. Phantastic Academy really need to put the pressure on to the teams right now, but the levels are just a little bit in favor of Shadowhands with 3 level 12s and 2 level 11s. Down bot, Shadowhands are now taking that goal. They want it. They wanted this goal gone. Down to 4 points on that goal. 30 points to 378. Professor Malice trying to defend it, but not able to. 418 points across with that. No goals left on the side of Phantastic Academy. Shadowhands absolutely dominating this map right now with 1:11 to go till Rayquaza. They're looking to take any of the XP they can from Phantastic Academy and keep this advantage. All it takes is one good Ray fight to be able to take a game, so potentially Phantastic Academy will be able to do it, but only 2 teams so far have taken a game from Shadowhands, that being Venoshock and Machampions. We're going to keep it chill in 11 seconds. There's going to be a bottom Regi. Seems like Shadowhands have got some members there ready to go for it. And Phantastic Academy are going to just keep on getting that XP, prepping for a Rayquaza fight. They really don't want to go for a bottom fight and lose it here, because it can all go too wrong going for a bottom Regi. But Shadowhands are on it, making quick work of that Regi steal. They clear it in just seconds. They are all ready. And we've got Chandelier up top, just lurking about to try and stop anyone from going for any cheeky little back caps. No time for a Regieleki. There's not going to be any more of those this game. Blastoise kind of keeping Phantastic Academy zoned out of getting into the Rayquaza pit and getting themselves set up. Blastoise seriously on the hunt for them, keeping them from going for it. Shadowhands are trying to not let these guys get in. Woodhammer comes out from the Trevenant, trying to keep them out. Charizard going in with Unite to try and put the pressure on Shadowhands. 2 members of Phantastic Academy are down though. Meowscarada Unite going down, not quite hitting anyone. 4 members out. Phantastic Academy only have Professor Malice left, who is defending down bottom sticking around to keep the home goal safe, but that means Shadowhands are going to go on to the Rayquaza instead. They weren't going for the back cap to get the points across. They're just going to take Rayquaza and make it so there's not really anything Phantastic Academy can do to be able to get back into this game. No Rayquaza, no chance of dunking. 30 points to 418, and a never-ending spinning Blastoise on our screen. Phantastic Academy just not able to put the pressure on Shadowhands, and Shadowhands able to take this game. 418 to 30 points. Phantastic Academy, well played, but you were not able to take a match off of Shadowhands. They have won this best of 3. K-Dog getting MVP, managing to score the 30 points at the back cap that they went for. Not a lot of kills across the board for poor Phantastic Academy. Meanwhile, Shadowhands were keeping them at bay. Scizor finally getting to see play. Lots of damage from that Cramorant, doing a lot of work. But the damage is a little lackluster across Phantastic Academy, who just had a real hard time getting onto Shadowhands. Shadowhands have got undefeated in this, so they will be taking their place in the semi-finals of the finale tournament. Moving over to Venoshock versus Midnight Rain. Midnight Rain trying to get themselves some points on this board. Venoshock competing to get themselves into the semi-finals. If they win this set, they will be guaranteed into the semi-finals of the finale tournament on the 17th of May. So we're going to see how this goes. Venoshock are going to get first ban against Midnight Rain, and we'll see what they're going to go for. Venoshock have been working hard, been quite strong in this one, only dropping, I think, a match to Shadowhands, so looking for a bit of a vendetta there. Suicune off the table. Venoshock do not want to see the CC Master, and Midnight Rain do not want to see Griffalo Snorlax. We've seen that do some crazy stuff this season, and they are not feeling having to deal with that. Meanwhile, Venoshock do not want to deal with Blissey. They want no CC, and Miraidon is the target ban from Midnight Rain, targeting Costas. We've seen him play Miraidon maybe once or twice. He is very scary on it. Venoshock getting first pick, and it's with Martin Zidon, who's gonna grab the Tinkaton. Meanwhile, Crimson Codex is looking to pick up Leafeon and Espeon, and Griff is picking up the Umbreon, with Wolfie grabbing the Slowbro. 2 defenders. Looks like Midnight Rain are potentially going for an all Eevee combination here, but have lost out on the Umbreon, with Griffalo taking it. Since they banned his main, he's gone for his second main, meaning the Umbreon Dream has stolen it. The all-evolution team has been stolen. It's not going to be happening. My phone screen locked. Sorry about that. Gonna have to turn that off. Still working out the kinks of this setup for the finale tournament. Now on the side of Venoshock, they are looking what they want to grab between Jimmy and Costas now. Jimmy looking to pick up that Zeraora, feeling like it can handle the Eevees, and Costas grabbing that Inteleon. Snipe shots will be flying. The evolution comp is going to have an honorary evolution member in the form of Mamoswine, as Umbreon was taken. Umbreon has been Griff's second Pokemon of choice throughout the whole of this season, but I know Midnight Rain are not going to be too happy about losing out on that all evolution comp. If they had got the entire evolution comp, Midnight Rain would have had some spicy bonuses for playing an all Eevee comp, but the dream was stolen from them by Venoshock grabbing the Umbreon, so unfortunate for them. Let's see where our players go. Tinkaton, Umbreon down bottom for Venoshock, who are our purple team. Midnight Rain are our orange team. They've got 2 Eevees down bottom. It's really confusing, actually. There's a lot of Eevees in just a Swinub. There's a Sylveon and a Espeon, I believe, down bottom. I am not too sure on this. Meanwhile, Jimmy is taking the jungle role for Venoshock. Pillow-Swine and another Eevee up top. Right now, it's a bit confusing. That is a lot of evolution on my screen. So, getting lost there. Glaceon has been the first Eevee to evolve, and then Leafeon. Leafeon being jungle, Glaceon being top. Tinkaton looking to get stacked up by getting into combat with them. Going in on the Eevees, getting some damage across, getting its passive ability stacks up, because we know that Tinkaton likes to get stacked by getting into combat. Seeing Zeraora go bot lane to help on out with it. I'm bad at controlling a camera. Sorry about that. It's my first time using a phone camera. Wolfie and Costas up top, trying to get to Inteleon and Slowbro, but are not there just yet. Midbirds are now up. See if they're able to get any of their evolutions for it. Zeraora keeping the pressure on these Eevees, but Leafeon has come down bottom. Tinkaton having to go and try and get evolved, as Tinkaton is not very strong. It really needs the Evo, and Griff is unevolved too. Griff finally able to evolve. Tinkaton so close to it. We do see Drizzle up top, but Slowpoke is unevolved. Looking a little dicey for Venoshock right now, but their Evos are a little bit later when they've got an entire entire Evolution team, and then Mamoswine, which has one of the latest Evos in the game. Looks like no points have gone across the board between Midnight Rain and Venoshock right now. Wolfie putting a little pressure onto them with the surf, and they're now going for the middle. Not able to secure it though. Piloswine is able to get that, but it goes down to the Drizzle, and Glaceon is not far behind, just managing to make it. And I'm following this Piloswine because I'm bad at camera. Haley putting the pressure on this Slowbro. Oh my god, I'm so bad at camera. I'm so sorry. But it did not work out too well for them. Leafeon is up here able to defend. Drizzle has gone mid, and Slowbro is just keeping the defense on this. Zeraora trying for some cheeky dunks there, but Jimmy is able to take out the Leafeon actually, with Drizzle helping for support. They're taking on the Mamoswine, but a Glaceon as well, deciding they want out of there. Jimmy looking very dicey right now on surviving. Jimmy actually survived, took out one of them, gets taken out himself, and now it's up to Rhino to defend against Costas and Wolfie, putting the pressure on top goal. Wolfie trying to dunk 30 across. Very brave. Leafeon coming in now. The Ice Fang grabbing Wolfie. Wolfie probably going down. Stayed a little longer than it's welcome. And Kurakami are able to put pressure on and just get the mid-birds. They're keeping the Umbreon and Tinkaton at bay. And now points are actually going across. Midnight Rain getting 60 points across on the top goal, pressuring that. And the Reggies are just about to go. Most of Venoshock are prioritizing going down to bottom. Meanwhile, Midnight Rain have 3 of their members up top ready for the Aleki. But we do have Drizzle and Slowbro there to kind of keep them off of it, and they are going to stick themselves away from it. Meanwhile, down bot, it's a little bit of a fight, a little bit of a love tap on the Reggie Ice there from the side of Midnight Rain. But Martin and Jimmy are coming for the pressure. Zeraora going for the pressure. Sylveon is down. Espeon trying to defend. Zeraora gets 20 points across the board for Venoshock. They're keeping on it in the flux zone. Going for it. Costas dunking another 25 across. Martin going for 30 points on it. And now they're going to be able to go for an overcap if they can take out this mean-looked Leafeon that's not quite able to get out of there. But Tinkaton goes down. Inteleon's going to try and keep it off. Leafeon goes down. It's just the Silver. And Inteleon goes down, though. Umbreon looking dicey. But meanwhile, that was going on. Jimmy was actually getting the Reggie down bot, which just keeps the Umbreon alive. Unite from Zeraora coming out to put pressure on them. And Jimmy and Griff are putting pressure onto this goal, taking out one of them. Not able to get the Espeon though, but Griff is going for the overcap anyway. Is stopped by the side shot. Jimmy's going on to the Espeon, able to stop it, but still not able to get this goal. Down goes there, Umbreon at the side of Leafeon. 99 points to 115. Midnight Rain currently in the lead. Costas and Wolfie working on this Reggie Aleki on their own. Not quite got ripping power between these two, but Inteleon should be able to secure that. Slowbro actually gets the secure on that one, and Tinkaton's been getting stacked up. Piloswine getting a lot of pressure on them now with a Reggie Aleki as well. Inteleon able to put lots of pressure on Piloswine from afar, but managing to get caught by the Glaceon. Tinkaton going for it. Aleki goes in and takes the goal. It's not a big overcap, but it's enough to put Venoshock in the lead. 160 to 115 points. Haley trying to take on Wolfie now. Wolfie trying to take the fight with the Glaceon, but Glaceon not quite getting fully stacked up here, so not quite able to do the damage a Glaceon would. Getting a lock on with the Icicle Spears, but still not enough damage to take out Wolfie. Wolfie is still sticking around this top goal, and we've got a Glaceon and a Mamoswine defending it. Meanwhile, everything is pretty chill. Everyone is kind of just getting their XP right now. Not too much disparity in terms of the levels. My highest level being level 12 at the moment with the Zeraora, but we got 2 level 10 or above Pokemon on the side of Midnight Rain. Umbreon being the lowest on the side of Venoshock at level 9. Midnight Rain actually coaxing to see if they can go in. Gets mean looked, having to take the fight there for the poor Espeon and Sylveon now. They're backing away. Zeraora has turned up. Zeraora jumping on them. Getting away. Espeon unite to try and get them off of it. Tinkaton going for the big hammer, but not quite able to land it. And now we see the Mamoswine and Leafeon turn up. Zeraora unite getting a bunch of KOs though from that one. And Mamoswine goes down as well. The pressure is on the side of Venoshock here. They are taking out Midnight Rain and keeping them away from this bottom Reggie Steel. Should be able to be a pretty free balling game now for Venoshock to just take this Reggie Steel as we wait for the two other members of Midnight Rain who are actually charging in, hoping to try and get a steal. Are they able to? No, it's secured by Martin and Tinkerton, and they're not able to, and they're able to defend their goal. Venoshock now having a 4-person push on their goal, getting a big spicy hit on the Leafeon, almost taking it out. They're now able to push them away from it. Still, 4 EVs fighting at your goal. A little bit scary, but Sylveon is almost down, but they're able to do it. The EVs do take out those who are defending bottom, and points reign in for Midnight Rain. 207 to 206 now. Midnight Rain in the lead, but while that's going on, Regieleki has been secured by Venoshock and is now going to be heading to Midnight Rain's Tier 2. Will they be pursuing that, or will they go for a spicy little back cap? Perhaps they're just going to go and focus on their XP. Midnight Rain having to defend this. Mamoswine picking it up always gives me a bit of a heart attack. I have accidentally grabbed those things and thrown them into goal far too many times for my liking. Everyone's now going to be focusing on getting the last of their XP, getting their unites, because it's going to be a Rayquaza fight in about 40 seconds of this game. Umbreon lurking around down bottom to keep the goal safe for Venoshock, but Midnight Rain are taking an approach to the goals. They are heading into that bottom area and getting themselves set up into the Reggie pit and checking around, just kind of having a little bit of a feeler for what's going on. Meanwhile, Venoshock on the other side getting prepped. Are we going to see an early Rayquaza fight? We do have all the teams in position 15 seconds early. No Reggie's going to be spawning. This fight's going to be happening nearer the bottom path, it seems. Glaceon going in for damage. Umbreon getting hit out. Glaceon is now mean-looked and trying to dip out of that fight. Down goes one member of Midnight Rain. The Mamoswine has gone down. Zeraora lurking on them. Uniting. We're seeing a Sylveon unite to survive. Jimmy's keeping on that Sylveon, though. Not letting that go. Glaceon is the only one left, and it looks like Venoshock are just going to try and keep them zoned out and go for the rip here to take away any hope Midnight Rain might have. Haley's going in for it, but Jimmy jumps on, and Slowbro is there to finish them off with a surf. Zeraora secured by Venoshock, by the Tinkerton, who is very good at securing, and Grifflow's charging to get those points across. 100 points raining in from the top goal. And now they're looking to get into that. Zeraora dashing, dunking another 88. The 88's not going to go through. 400 to 245. The team has surrounded Midnight Rain, have accepted their defeat, and Venoshock are one step closer to guaranteeing themselves in the semi-finals of the final tournament. Meanwhile, Midnight Rain still fighting here to get their 1 point on the board. Can they pick up any points? The All Evolution comp was denied by the Umbreon being stolen. 400 points to 245 points on the side of Venoshock and Midnight Rain. Now, if Venoshock can win this next one, they'll have taken this set and will stop Midnight Rain from getting any points. Jimmy being the MVP for the side of Venoshock, and Rhino being MVP for the side of Midnight Rain. Although Haley, true MVP, there was 69 alongside Crimson Codex. Alrighty, Midnight Rain versus Venoshock, round 2. Venoshock in the lead with 1 point right now. Midnight Rain now on the purple side, going to be getting first ban and first pick. What is Haley feeling like banning? Is she going to target anyone specific in Venoshock? Going to stick with the Snorlax ban targeting Griff here, not letting him get his main? Does look like that's the way we're going to be going. Second ban. Seems like Venoshock are sticking with a Suicune, getting Susan out of here. We don't want to see it. No CC from this thing. Are they going to keep the Miraidon ban? They are staying with the ban of Miraidon. Do not want to deal with it. Meanwhile, Venoshock are taking Blissey out of the mix. Don't want to be dealing with a Blissey today, which is almost always a fair and valid ban. Crimson Codex getting first pick now. What is he gonna prioritize? Is he prioritizing a ranged attacker? It does certainly look that way. Is he going with the Dragapult? Dragapult is locked in on the side of Midnight Rain. Meanwhile, Venoshock keeping strong here. Martin Zidon on the Tinkerton, and Griff potentially picking up the Umbreon here. We are locking in Umbreon, Tinkerton. Meanwhile, Midnight Rain looking very red here with a Gardevoir lock-in as well. And everyone seems to be looking for a ranged attacker right now. Are we going to see Midnight Rain attempt an all-ranged attack team? Something we've never seen before in the Doomnite League. All ranged attackers. Phone gets bored as always. classic for me here. Venoshock are now going in to pick up their next Pokemon. Wolfie looking to see what he should grab, but potentially just going to go in with that Slowbro pick. He's debating, but Slowbro seems like the way to go. Costa's picking up the Pikachu. Ranged attacker's not going to like this all that much, but we'll see. It does look like Midnight Rain are doing the all-ranged attacker team. Greninja and Ninetales for Midnight Rain, all ranged attackers. Not what we expect to see, and Jimmy not going for the Zero Aura this time and going for the Talonflame. Going to have a bit of an easier time getting on those ranged attackers. Going to be interesting to see how this pans out. It's looking a lot like solo queue right now. All right, loading on in. What can I say, Midnight Rain? You've got all ranged attackers. You're brave, but I don't know if it's going to work out for you. Ranged attackers could put the pressure on. They could have a good Ray Rip because there's a lot you can do. But at the same time, all ranged attackers... Your purple team, Midnight Rain. Your orange team, Venoshock, Dragapult taking the jungle. And whoa, surprisingly, ranged attackers heading on out on both lanes for the side of Midnight Rain. Who would have thunk it? Couldn't have predicted the double ranged attacker lane at all. Crimson now going for a jungle cliff, prioritizing getting his buff next. And down bottom, we've got Eevee Tinkaton. Up top, we got Pikachu Slowbro, and we got a Talonflame jungle for Venoshock. Going to be able to put a lot of pressure on his ranged attackers here. Going up against a Slowbro Pika. Mewtwo trying to... Vulpix's not evolved yet, so not quite had its power spike. Actually almost out because we're seeing Mage Pikachu being played. The opposite build to what I play, everybody. The Mage Pikachu. Talonflame coming on in. Jimmy trying to pick up a kill on the Mewtwo, but not able to. And they're going to stick on their goal and take some XP, try and get this Ninetales up to a Ninetales. But Jimmy lurking about. Dragapult's made it up here, and they try to catch it out. Jimmy manages to pick up a KO on the, Mewtwo. Goes for the Ninetales, having to dip out of there, but the range of it just takes him out. Or a bird, couldn't quite tell. Dragapult going to keep them off, and we're going to see Jimmy have to go back to the Pokemon Center for this one. Costa's trying to take the XP without getting too close because he was looking a little dicey for health, but was able to secure a good chunk of it and get his Slowbro evolved. Although Slowbro stayed for the fight and got knocked out, sent back to the Pokemon Center, as they say. Dragapult still hanging about now to help out with the team. No points are across the board right now. Everybody's just focusing on getting themselves online, ready to go. And playing as they should, keeping it with the focus on getting XP. 8-minute birds are going to be up in around 5 seconds. Will we see anybody venturing to it? Seems like Ninetales is. Jimmy is already there on it, and Costas is there too, able to secure some of it, getting himself up to a Talonflame. So he's going to have a nice big power spike there, managing to take out the Ninetales using Fly. Lands on the Curlier, takes that out, keeping the pressure on. They're going after this mean look Dragapult, but he's able to escape because nobody quite got on him. But he goes back in, and Costas takes a chase down for him. Dragapult fleeing with his tail between his legs there, not going to be able to get any KOs, which Dragapult desperately needs to be getting itself online. Seeing a bit of pressure coming out. Slowbro getting a kill on the Ninetales. Mewtwo getting stunned, looking pretty low. Crimson having to come in as the Dragapult now and put a little bit of safety for the Mewtwo as they're down. Meanwhile, down bottom, patiently waiting in a bush for their moment to strike is old Venoshock. Now they think the moment is now, and they're going for it. They get the KO on the first one. Can they get it on the Curlier? They do. Points are likely to go across from bottom now, who have patiently waited to do it. Jimmy's joined in. Griff is there to help. 33 points going across. 10 points left on the goal. Martin getting stacked up as we speak. Crimson now putting pressure onto Venoshock's goal, but not able to do it. And Wolfie's going for the fight to take the Mewtwo out, keeping their goal safe. And it seems like points might rain across on the top goal in terms of Venoshock as well, getting a bunch of points across and getting the bottom objective at the same time. 165 points across the board for Venoshock, 0 points for Midnight Rain. We're now seeing a bit of pressure from the side of Venoshock to Midnight Rain as we fight for this top Reggie Alecki. Jimmy going on in, getting the Ninetales out of there. Haley getting kind of caught out by the Tinkerton. A lot of pressure from them up top and a spicy 28-point overcap for Venoshock, 213 points to 0. Ranged attackers are infamously squishy, so an entire team of them are a little bit lacking in terms of bulk, which is always a problem in Unite. Now Venoshock have got the Reggie Alecki. Are they going to put the pressure across and get this Reggie Alecki into tier 2? Seems like they are going for it. Talonflame Unite taking a big old sweep and taking a bunch of people with them. Dragapult, Meanlook not able to escape, and the pressure is on from Venoshock. They're dunking a bunch of points across, but not enough to take out that second goal because they just dunked all their points a few seconds ago. Managing to get a good chunk across. Jimmy looking a little dicey here, but Pikachu able to stun to help get Jimmy out of the fray. And I think Pikachu actually takes the fall for that one. And Midnight Rain are going to be able to put a little bit of pressure. Chasing down the Slowbro. Dragapult going in for it with the Dragon Dance. Are they able to pick up a kill and get those stacks going? They were not able to. Slowbro using Unite on the Dragapult, but pressure put on from the Ninetales and the Gardevoir, managing to take out a lot of the team. Tinkerton coming up to try and help the Slowbro out. Slowbro goes down, but Tinkerton does a revenge kill on the Mewtwo, but gets taken in by Guardi Unite. Not quite able to take out the Gardevoir, but able to fend off the push from Midnight Rain. We got objectives spawning in 7 seconds down the bottom pit. Griff is making his way down bot, as is Tinkerton. Meanwhile, Midnight Rain are staying up top, prioritizing going for the XP and potentially a back cap, hoping that maybe Venoshock are going to go all the way down bot and stick to it. But Pikachu is kind of actually there. Wolfie getting caught out by all of the team. Why he went off goal, I'll never know. Pikachu coming in with the big Unite, clears it up though. His teammate had his back. That's what 5-stack is about, your teammates having the back. Gardevoir hoping it can get a cheeky back cap, but Pikachu fending it off once again, stopping them from getting any of their points across. Gardevoir doing a lot of damage on the Pika, but Pika's still taking the fight. Jimmy's coming in to clean it up, goes on to the Gardevoir, gets a KO. 3 of Midnight Rain go down to the Talonflame. And they're going to go for this Reggie Alecki now after already securing the bottom Reggie. Midnight Rain. Levels are looking a little dicey here. The highest level being level 12 on the Dragapult, 13 on the Talonflame for the side of Venoshock. So there's a bit of catching up to do for Midnight Rain, but Venoshock are actually going to pressure this Reggie Alecki towards the tier 2. Trying to catch Haley. Tinkerton manages to stun it. It goes in. All the points are over. Tier 1 is completely gone. 351 points to 54 as they chose to back cap instead of properly defend off that Reggie. Venoshock are managing to grab any XP they can on the map, and actually pressuring into their jungle, going for their tier 2 on bottom now instead. Will they get the 31 points off? It's a big dunk, but it's managing to go through. 65 points left in the tier 2 for Midnight Rain, and Venoshock are still defending it off. We're seeing pressure from the Mewtwo and Ninetales down bottom, but Slowbro is defending it. Jimmy is kind of chasing the Mewtwo a little bit, getting them out of the way, and they've had to go back. Tinkerton there to try and catch out the Mewtwo and going on it. Pikachu backing up. Tinkerton gets the KO. Haley gets stunned by the Pika, and down she goes. And now it's up to the Ninetales to defend off the Pika alongside the Gardevoir. Getting stunned by the Slowbro, who is level 12, so he is triple stunning with that Surf. Pika goes down though. Slowbro putting the Surf in alongside the Umbreon, and Tinkerton trying to do it. Getting that Ninetales out of here. It is not sticking in. And Midnight Rain are trying to push Venoshock away from them. 18 seconds to Rayquaza though. We really don't want to be seeing KOs at this point, but oh my god, 4 of Midnight Rain just go down and are going to have to respawn, being out of place for the Rayquaza. We see Dragapult actually hanging out on the side of Venoshock here, but Pikachu has caught wind of it and it's going to keep it away from the pit, meaning no Dragapult rips for Midnight Rain. And Midnight Rain are being zoned on out from getting anywhere near Rayquaza. Tinkerton going around to catch that Gardevoir out. 3 of Midnight Rain taken out yet again. Will they go for a rip on this Rayquaza? It's the only way they kind of lose, so I'm not sure they're going to go for it. They're actually sticking in the bushes and keeping them away from the Rayquaza. U2 unite to try and get any damage onto the side of Venoshock they can. Haley hoping to get some damage from across, uniting in, getting a good amount of damage across onto them, but no KOs. Haley is gonna get themselves sent back to the Pokemon Center if they run in. Garda unite managing to catch 3 of them, but Gardevoir goes down to the Tinkaton. Venoshock are not letting them near this Rayquaza. They've gone for a back cap up top with the Ninetales, but it's not gonna be enough. You need Rayquaza or nothing in this scenario to get somewhere. Talonflame Unite pushing them away. Tinkaton lurking about, waiting patiently in the bush to catch Haley out. Huge damage across, and Jimmy there to finish it off. And more points going across. It's double points now, so they're just putting themselves further in the lead, making it even harder for Midnight Rain to get back. Midnight Rain need to get Rayquaza at this point. There's 45 seconds left on the map. It's what they need to do to win this. If they don't, they're not going to be able to catch up with them and take this to a game 3. It is going to be Midnight Rain taking it. 34 seconds left, and Midnight Rain, no, sorry, not Midnight Rain, Venoshock will be taking it. Midnight Rain scoring 16 points in the top goal. Again, still not going to be quite enough to make a tide change with this match, unfortunately. Venoshock very much in the lead, 121 to 460, 20 seconds left. Even if they get Rayquaza now, it's dicey to get the points across. So it looks like this is going to go in the favor of Venoshock as Midnight Rain choose to stay out of combat. Haley uniting in again, Pika Unite stopping it, Slowbro trying to stop them back capping any of the points they're going for. Ninetales going for a back cap, but Rhino is caught by Jimmy, and it looks like Venoshock are going to be taking this set, so they will likely be your second team who are in the semi-finals of the finale tournament. $460 points to 127. Venoshock take it and will be seeing themselves in the semi-finals of the finale tournament, hoping to be able to push themselves to finals and potentially take this season. One more set of matches to go before we'll know what the finale tournament is looking like. Our final round for the round robin stage of the tournament, Sky Sliders versus Machampion, and we are heading in to that ban phase. What are Sky Sliders going to target against the Machampions? Will we be seeing any big bans? Will it just be the generic good Pokemon, or will we be seeing some targeted bans here? I can speak. Sky Sliders are going to be banning the Pikachu. It seems like that's what's going to be off the table for Machampions. Meanwhile, Machampions getting to take their ban are saying no Blissey this game. Blissey a favorite to be banned in the Doomnite League. Next up on the Sky Sliders ban docket is Dragapult, followed by Umbreon. From Machampions, 2 big bans from Machampions here. Sky Sliders picking up the Tinkaton. Second time we're seeing Tinkaton played, which is very rare because you do not see Tinkaton get played that much. But that means Suicune is available, and Machampions are absolutely grabbing that alongside the Mamoswine. So a lot of stun already on the side of Machampions. D-Tactician grabbing one of their beloveds right now with the Absol, and we've got a fill-in on the side of Sky Sliders, so Shiro is going to be playing Chandelure for them this game. Meanwhile, Machampions are now getting to pick up some Pokemon. Kikichu not allowed her Pikachu, so going for the Venusaur instead, and Scizor is getting some more love from the side of Machampions. Sky Sliders grabbing 2 defenders now in the form of Crossel and Blastoise, with Machampions going for one last pick here. What are they going to do to round this out? We're going to see a Speedster get grabbed. It does look like we're seeing a Speedster be grabbed. Zeraora on the side of Machampions, a very strong team lineup from Machampions there. Lots of CC, lots of sustainability with the in the form of Scizor, I'm blanking on Pokemon names, and then ability to jump on things. Whilst Sky Sliders are relatively bulky here with 2 defenders and an all-rounder. Alright guys, your purple team's gonna be Sky Sliders, your orange team gonna be Machampions. Let's see how it goes. Gonna apologize for any camera issues, we were still learning to pilot them. Meaning it's a little jolty at points. Suicune are down bottom, Scizor and Piloswine up top, and the Absol is going for the jungle clear. My god, we were shaky when we first did this camera. It looks like we're actually seeing pressure from Machampions almost immediately trying to go for burning speed and that, but they weren't able to get it. Suicune and Zero Aura just focusing on it, not seeing... Oh my god, we were changing camera so much. So sorry about this spelling. We see a KO happen at top. Too much pushing from the Machampions, and they're able to stop it on the side of Sky Sliders to get themselves the middle contested XP and be a little bit safer. Meanwhile, down bottom, Suicune putting a lot of pressure across. But again, Sky Sliders picking up the KO on their opponents there and able to fend them off from getting any points. 3 of Machampions are down bottom now, lurking about to try and get them out. And they do pick up the KO on the Crossel. It's just a little baby trying to defend the goal. And they're going to prioritize going for the mid XP instead of actually going for any kills. Now the pressure is going to go on to the bot lane as they try to get any KOs they can. Suicune pushing alongside Ivysaur with Zero Aura there for backup. Suicune doing a lot of damage, but up top, Piloswine is trying to get a dunk using Ice Fang to try and keep them at bay. They're not quite able to. They're not getting the KO, and now we see Tinkaton able to defend away from this Piloswine, who is just running through their strip seam right now, trying to get back. Liddy just running hardcore here. Oh my god, we were so bad at camera. I'm so sorry for this. Scizor now up top. It has gone the Scizor route instead of Scyther. Tinkaton going for the contested XP, and meanwhile mid XP is there, and all of the champions are lurking about, trying to jump on them to stop them getting any of that XP. Squirtle looking a bit dicey, taking on a Scizor, not able to survive it. Chandelure now getting the pressure from Suicune and Scizor, and the points are raining in for the Machampions. The Champions getting 104 points across the board. Meanwhile, Sky Sliders taking a counter dunk of 56 points across. There's a lot of pressure on their tier 2 goal now, being very, very pushy on the side of Machampions now. Backing out of this fight, disengaging and going back, prepping themselves for the Reggies. Midbirds are now up, and it looks like a lot of that XP, pretty much all of it for the bot path, is going to be going to Machampions. Meanwhile, Crossel lurking about on the side of the Machampions, trying to see if they can get any dunks, but are not going to be able to. Tinkaton and Absol trying to put some pressure on this top path, but Pikachu, Scizor, and Piloswine are there, ready to fight them off. They don't want an Alecki going towards their goal right now. Crossel coming in, managing to catch them. That was a lovely sight of the side of the thing. Not sure how that happens. We got better, don't worry. Pressure coming in from Kikichu, Scizor, and Suicune, but they're not quite able to get the points across. Tinkaton is doing the fight off, but they get the bottom Reggie, meaning their attack is increased, but they're looking a little worse for wear, having to back up to their goal, get some HP, and reset for this Reggie Alecki fight that is inevitably going to happen on the top path. Crossel coming in now, catching someone out with X's, or Suicune caught out by the Tinkaton. Down it goes. Pressure from Pikachu now, able to take down the Crossel. Solar Beam doing a lot of damage and taking out the Tinkaton. And now it is just a Chandelure to stop them from raining the points in. And it looks like Machampions are going to rain some more points in on that top goal and actually get a 31 overcap on that. So 56 points to 204. Now they can put the pressure on the Alecki and send it towards the second tier goal on top path, which is always an advantageous way to go. Will we see Machampions pressuring this to get their points in top gold? They not got a lot of points. Pikachu took a lot of damage from Chandelure just then, but actually survives it. Then we're seeing more pressure from Machampions now as they go in. Lots and lots of pressure. Alecki going into the tier 2, and that goal is just gone. There is no pads, no goals at all on the tier 1 now for the side of Sky Sliders. Machampions managing to keep a good old pressure on it. We're going to be seeing Alekkis and Reggies spawn again soon. Should be the Reggie in about 30 seconds for that one. And pressure from Sky Sliders now. They're actually going to pressure this bottom goal where Suicune and Venusaur are going to have to try and keep it off. Can Pikachu keep them from it? Got a lot of range. Seeing the Venusaur unite come out, but followed by a Suicune unite and a Blastoise unite. Suicune looking very worse for wear. Is going to have to back off from this fight. And now Mamoswine is coming to join the party to try and keep it safe. And they clear out those who were pressing it. The push did not work, and Machampions clear it out. Basically having a free run at this Reggie steal now, getting them some much needed XP plus some advantage on the board state, despite already having quite a large advantage. Sky Sliders are looking a little lower level than Machampions, not maybe going to be able to contest any Reggie Alecki. Need to prioritize getting some levels onto them and focusing on XP. Points not quite going across. The pushes just haven't worked for them. Machampions have been able to clear it out. Oh my god, cameras, stay still, I beg of thee. No one's really engaging in any fights right now. Machampions sort of set up in this top path, ready to fight. D-Tac going a little bit far over here and being potentially able to be caught. Venusaur lurking in the bushes. Tinkaton also backing up on the side of the Venusaur here now. Tinkaton managing to catch their Mamoswine, who's gone ahead, but down goes their Unite, keeping them up. Scizor trying to put the pressure on. Pikachu getting a lovely solar beam there. And again, Sky Sliders are just sort of wiped out during the fight stage. Another team wipe before the Machampions. Reggie Alecki number 2 go into the side of the Machampions, and it is heading towards the home goal for Sky Sliders. This is looking rough and dicey. Very much worse for wear. Crossel trying to take it out early rather than letting it get too near the goal, pushing it almost back to where it spawns. They're going to be fighting it out, but they're going to take advantage of that from the Machampions. Going to go onto the Crossel, try and take it out. Crossel gets the stun. We're seeing a Ice Beam and that from the Suicune to try and push them off. They're still fighting this Alecki, trying to keep it away, but meanwhile, backcapping in the bot path is the Zeraora. More points across for the Machampions. Crossel now going in to fend off the backcapping, while the rest of the team takes care of this Reggie Alecki, and Machampions are going to choose to disengage and maybe clear through their jungle instead, stopping it while the Crossel focuses on the side XP. Pikachu now at bottom path, ready to defend and ready for the next objective, which is going to be up in around 3 seconds. Catches the Chandelier, doesn't want to be that close. Zeraora jumps in and finishes it off. D-Tac stunned by an Ice Fan, taken out. Solar Beam clearing out what it is. Crossel and Blastoise all that's left. Venusaur able to push pressure on that. The KO streak, 4 KOs on the side of the Zeraora, cleaning up, and now you've got the Blastoise trying their best. Menina is doing what they can to stop it, but they're up against all of Machampions, who are now taking it out. Only 9 seconds to rip through this Reggie, and Machampions are looking really low on HP, so not gonna have much time to get this Reggie and reset and get into the Rayquaza pit. Rayquaza has spawned. Suicu's been caught out, having to back off from the Chandelier and the Tinkaton. The team of Machampions is coming in. Even though they're low, they're going for the fight, taking it in. We're seeing Chandelier Unite come out. Mamoswine in the thick of it gets taken out. 1 down from Machampions, but 4 Sky Sliders are out. They're sort of just cleared out. Solar Beam finishing up the last member, and Machampions are going to have free run to go for this Rayquaza, as Sky Sliders are completely team wiped right now. Zeraora choosing to not go on the Rayquaza and just take the dunk. Managing to get that Rayquaza completely able to do that without any contesting, and yep, there's the surrender from Sky Sliders. 114 points to 462. Machampions are taking round 1 against Sky Sliders. I am sorry, this game was filmed first out of this set on a completely different day where we had less practice with working with cameras. So I am so sorry for shaky cam. Machampions taking round 1 against Sky Sliders. We're going to switch sides and then see if Sky Sliders can take this, or will Machampions end up gaining themselves another point on this board. We're gonna find out. All right, this could potentially be the final match of the round robin stage of the Doomnite League. Machampions versus Sky Sliders. Machampions currently in the lead, moving over to the purple side now, whereas Sky Sliders are on the orange side. Let's see what bans Machampions feel like going for. Sticking with a Blissey ban. Don't want to see that CC be countered, especially not if they plan on playing Suicune again. So out goes the Blissey. Meanwhile, Sky Sliders having to think about what they're going to take out of it. Pikachu, not allowed Pikachu last game, not allowed Venusaur this game. Pikachu loses the Venusaur. Meanwhile, Machampions are thinking the Mamoswine caused them some issues and potentially banning that, but actually reconsidering it and going for a solid ban of Umbreon. Sky Sliders not wanting to see Zeraora in the mix for this game. Machampions on first pick. What are we going to see them grab up? First pick is always very spicy. Pikachu grabbing the Pikachu. You can take him off Venusaur, but you're going to give him back Pikachu, so going to be very exciting to see Pikachu on the Pika. Burning Speed picking up the Crustle again, did a lot of work last game. Hopefully it can do some more this game. Skysliders looking to see what DTAC goes for, debating off Absol, but sticking with the true beloved Absol. Meanwhile, Machampions are now debating what they're going to pick up, looking to grab that Suicune again. Not first picking that initially, which is interesting, as Suicune is a highly contested one. But Liddy's going to grab Psyduck, Sai-Yai, and Suicune and Pika. This is a very CC-heavy game. No wonder they did not want to see Blissey. Even Champions really pulling out some strong Pokemon choices there. Meanwhile, Buzzwole looking to be picked up by Skysliders, and Menina sticking on the Blastoise. Strong and solid, true choice right there. Is the Buzzwole going to fit in? No, we're going back to the Chandelure, sticking with a ranged attacker. Not sure what's going to deal with all that CC. Blissey being taken out of the mix is nasty. Bamboo now getting to pick up. And are we seeing a Comfey Zoroark? Because I will be disgusted if we see a Comfey Zoroark in our Doomnite League. Bamboo's debating it. They're debating it. I hate a Comfey. Comfey being picked up. Is it Comfey Zoroark? What a composition of champions we've got there. That is scary. A bunch of CC and an almost unkillable Zoroark. Not going to be fun to go against. Skysliders thinking Garchomp with its survivability might be able to make a dent in that team. Gonna be a rough game for Skysliders, let me tell you that. Machampions team looking actually quite nasty. Lots of CC in the Pikachu, Psyduck, and Suicune, and then just ridiculous ability to kill with the Zoroark that's probably not going to die because it's got a Comfey. How could you, Machampions? How could you do this to us? Alrighty, Machampions with the demonic team, as I'm going to call it for this. Good job, Machampions. The Skyside is going to be doing their best to take this on. Your purple team, Machampions. Your orange team, Skysliders. I'm sorry this was when we were first getting used to the camera. I can only profusely say we have gotten better. Top side, we got a Crustle and a Garchomp trying to get it. Meanwhile, bottom, we've got a Chandelure and a Squirtle. Going for the bunnies, not choosing to do the skip here. Lovely side of the map again there, Griff. Lovely. Love it. Appreciate it. Menina and Litwick trying to get the contested, are able to secure it against the Suicune. A Suicune Comfey right now, though. Really, really strong Suicune are going to be putting a lot of pressure on Skysliders and going to be pretty unkillable. So go in for a fight with them, not the way. Garchomp and Crustle gonna put some pressure here on the Psyduck and Pikachu, but Pikachu Electro Ball in it, getting a lot of damage on that Garchomp and able to kill it with an Electro Ball. Appreciate the skin you're using, Pikachu. Also a huge fan of that skin. Love taking a photo of the enemies I kill. Makes me very happy in ranked matches when I get to do that. Looks like the Psyduck and Pikachu were able to get the XP and are going to be able to keep a lot of pressure on. Gibble not quite strong. It really needs to get itself going and ramp up to Garchomp. While it can get some damage going in the early stage, it's a struggle. Absol down the bot lane now, getting slow splayed by Comfey, just choosing to take the fight and not able to get through it. The Comfey, Zoroark, and Suicune are too much. Pikachu gets another kill on the Gibble, and the Crustle is looking a little dicey, having to run to mid to get away from the Pikachu. Actually going around the back here now, Burning Speed is. Not sure what they're hoping for here. Going to be in the Flux Zone, looking... Okay, that's their Flux Zone. I can brain. My brain was just a little bit confused on the choice, but it's okay. Meanwhile, Absol is getting invaded by the Zoroark Comfey and is just getting taken out. Menina trying to help, but it's just a Squirtle. Slow Spray is going to slow it down, and Comfey and Zeraora are actually going to just be able to clear through the jungle of Skysliders, taking some of their XP and keeping them under-leveled and keeping a bit of momentum on the map here. Map control being quite heavy. Absol coming through, trying to chase them out, but it's looking so dicey for them with the Zoroark already being level 8 and Absol only level 6. Points going across for Skysliders there, 35 points over, but the champions are going to dunk a bunch more, 101 points across and a tier 1 goal gone. Meanwhile, Skysliders going to go for the back captain strat and dunk a bunch in the top goal, 48 points to 101 points right now. But Machampions seem to be making their way up top to deal with them. Absol hoping for a catch out alongside Burning Speed, but Burning Speed is the one that gets taken down, and now the Absol is on the retreat as Machampions charge forward, ready to go. Pikachu gonna be operating on defense there in the back, getting points across as well. 164 points, only 6 points left in that goal. Are they able to break it before the Regieleki? Meanwhile, down bot, Menina and the Chandelier are just focusing on getting XP and getting those levels. Regieleki just absolutely torn through. So Sky Sliders are gonna focus up on getting that XP and go in for the Regi Ice, which they are able to secure. But so many points going across. Tier 2, it is being pushed to Tier 2 right now, this Regieleki, and no one is there to defend. They're choosing to backcap instead, getting some points across themselves, but 214 points to 95, and Zoroark now coming in for the defense to try and get them off of it. Zoroark, Comfey trying their best, but 4 members of Sky Sliders are pushing onto this goal. Psyduck has come down to help out. Absol getting caught out and taken out. Suicune Unite catching Menina. Menina using Surf to try and keep Psyduck off of them. And apparently we care more about Zoroark clearing mid. He got better. We got better. We practiced. Zoroark now going on to Burning Speed, trying to chase them away. And Psyduck joining up with them. Comfey still hanging about on Zoroark, keeping it alive. Burning Speed trying to move around. Zoroark trying to get onto it to stop them from getting anywhere. Chandelier potentially being caught out. Pikachu's going for the Bolt Tackle, and the Chandelier gets Electro Balled and finished off by the Pikachu. Pikachu do be doing nightmare things. It is very strong. Suicune fighting off Burning Speed, trying to keep them away from their goals, not letting any backcaps go. Pikachu Unite coming out, blitzing through them, doing so much heavy damage right now. Garchomp trying its best to survive, but it is very low HP. Pikachu coming in with the stuns and the Electro Balls. Down they go. Pikachu gets another KO, and Suicune finishes off the Garchomp. A lot of Sky Sliders are just not able to get momentum on this map. At this present point in game, Machampions are looking spicy. They're going for the mid-birds and then going for the Regieleki. 214 points to 97, and we're at the halfway point of this game. Sky Sliders coming in, want to try and contest this Regieleki. It seems Crossel going in, followed by Menina with the Chandelier on backline to offer support and damage across. They do take out the Pikachu. Garchomp's running on in for this as well. We've seen Chandelier's Unite come out. They are going on it. For some reason, we're down here. Don't know why, but we are. Now it looks like Psyduck is having a bit of pressure. There's 3 of Sky Sliders. Looking a little low, though. Meanwhile, down bottom, Sky Sliders Absol is actually prioritizing getting the Regieleki. Down goes the Crossel, down goes Chandelier, and it looks like Machampions are going to be pushing on for getting this Regieleki and potentially pushing it towards the Tier 2. Cameraman, I swear to God. Looks like Psyduck is fighting off Absol, who's trying to backcap and break the goal, which would only be a 3 overcap, which isn't too much. But Psyduck is chasing it down and does get the K on the Absol. Zoroark has found the Crossel and is fighting that. And the Regieleki slides on in despite Menina's best attempts to defend it. And the points are raining on in. Only 5 points left in that goal. Looks like top goal is going to go 301 points to 97 in favor of Machampions right now, who are still keeping the pressure on taking any XP they can from Sky Sliders to try and keep their levels as low as possible. But Sky Sliders keeping up on the XP right now, despite having some struggles to get objectives and dunks. They are keeping up on the XP, meaning they are going to be able to fight the Rayquaza that we're going to have in about 1 minute 20. Machampions hanging about in the mid part, looking to get the birds when they spawn and keeping their levels up as well. Sky Sliders not looking to engage right now, but Garchomp is looking for a backcap. Stopped by the Psyduck. They're saying no backcap for you. Get out of here, Garchomp. And Comfey has come down to join it. We're seeing a little bit of a push now. 4 Sky Sliders are actually going to try and take this bottom goal, putting the pressure on them, trying to take out the Psyduck, which they are able to do. Zoroark comes in to try and clear it out, though, alongside the Pikachu. It seems to be enough. They are ripping through the team. Blastoise Unite being used at 2 minutes 40 on the side of Sky Sliders, and they're able to push back. Suicune versus Blastoise, but the Comfey is back. Suicune's going to have a little bit more momentum here and be able to keep the Blastoise away. Menina choosing to retreat and recalibrate before the Rayquaza that's going to be up in 25 seconds. Seeing a fight on the Suicune. Sky Sliders going on in. 15 seconds to rate. Getting themselves taken out. Suicune Unite is used, but 3 of Sky Sliders is taken out just 10 seconds before Rayquaza. Garchomp looking a little dicey. Suicune's going for it. The Garchomp is down too. While they are respawning, they're not going to be in the prime positions they want to be in for Rayquaza. And actually, Zoroark is just going for the shred. They're not even going to let these guys get it. Burning Speed comes running in. Can the Sky Sliders get the steal? It's so close. Everyone's in the pit. Sky Sliders do get the steal. Crossel's able to do it, but the whole of the champions are there to take them out. Sky Sliders now pushing in the bottom, managing to put that goal on 1. Going for an overdunk here. 185 points to 311. Can anyone with shield go get more points and dunk? Menina getting points across top. 277 to 311. It is so close on this game now. Sky Sliders have almost turned it around. Will we see a game 3? Machampions now clearing out, looking to go get some dunks of their own. Defending against Menina, but Menina's going to get another 7 points across. 291 points to the 405 though. Machampions were able to get some points across themselves. Menina still with shield, trying to get whatever points they can across, but that shield is taken out by the electric ball from Pikachu. And now D-Tech still has shield. He could go get points and dunk. It is a possibility. I don't know what my cameraman's trying to look at. Boo, Griff, boo. This is such a close game. Sky Sliders are so close to pulling it back. They've got 46 seconds. Can they get any dunks? Burning Speed going for the bottom, but Soul King is able to stop it. Suicune is now pushing Burning Speed out. Is he going to go run and try the other goal for a back cap? He'll be met with a Pikachu if he does. And he does, but Chandeler's there as well. Maybe the 2 of them can do it. Pikachu drops. Pikachu's Unite. Crossel goes down. Chandeler's not going to be able to take out the Pikachu. Electro Ball execution. Side of the map again. Griff told me he didn't look at the side of the map at all while casting this. He is a liar. Boo to Griff. Tumble goes down, trying to push the last points across. They got Rayquaza. They pushed for a comeback, but they just weren't able to get enough points across. And it looks like this game is going to go to Machampions. Absol did still have shield. Could have tried to put some more points across if they wanted to, but they just didn't go for it. All right, it looks like 405 to 291. Machampions taking the win, getting the points, and Sky Sliders having no points gained this one. Well played to all the players. They worked hard. They did their best. And with that, that is the final rounds of the round robin stage of the Doomnite League done. So the scoreboard's looking a little like this. Shadowhands and Venoshock will be in the semi-finals immediately for the finale tournament on the 17th of May. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams are going to be fighting it out to get themselves into the semi-finals and potentially finals. It's not over yet. It's still possible that they can win. It's possible any of these teams can claw their way through the brackets and take this getting the trophy, but this is the finale of that round robin stage. And well played to all the teams. Thank you so much for helping me put together the Doomnite League. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope to see you guys all on the 17th of May, where I'm joined by a wonderful bunch of casters to bring you the finale tournament of the Doomnite League. Let's bring season 2 to a big finale, and I promise I will bonk the cameraman and he will not be so shaky. We did improve, I swear. I promise you we have improved. All right, everybody. Until then, please subscribe, do all the nice things, show appreciation. You can bonk Griff in the comments. That's acceptable too. You could do that. And I will see you guys on the 17th of May for the finale of the Doomnite League. See you guys there. Dog Champ Licks ready.